Hello, it's the 18th of September today, and here's a short film. It'll have to be short because my battery's nearly run out on my new SLR camera, and I'm at the orchard. Just a little run round because many of you have been asking what we've been getting up to. The answer is all sorts of things, but not much to do with fruit. This is a very limited crop of a variety called Seckel that I've just harvested. Not quite used to using the camera. It's a nice garlic that I grew. Yeah, it's a very solemn day for me. It's the 18th of September. That's the day that Jimi Hendrix died. I'll always remember the sorrow and shock I felt on that day many years ago. Anyway, this is my vegetable garden. Just had a look out here today. Something's doing okay. French beans, late sown carrots. Might get a crop of peas there. I'm afraid I haven't been able to do the weeding much this year because I've been so many other things to do. Leeks are coming on very well. Sunflowers are past their best. We've had a lot of pleasure from them. Just wanted to show you this. My sweet corn completely destroyed by badgers. This is the second time they've done it. I stopped growing sweet corn because we can't keep badgers out of the orchard. They burrow and their way through their claws. Their teeth, they can tear through barbed wire. I mean through chicken wire. So that's it. That's my sweet corn crop. A whole season's work completely destroyed by badgers. If I were to do anything about the badgers, I could go to prison. They're very strictly protected, hence their numbers have increased enormously. Anyway, just harvesting some pears today. I have to because the badgers are starting to have a go at them. I actually found a pear in a tree which literally has some claw marks on it. Normally they fall and we pick them up, but in fact they're being eaten as soon as they fall. There's badger poo everywhere. So there one goeth. Anyway, some quite pretty pears here. This is a Burhardy. Yeah, picking over them as usual. We get a lot of wasp damage, wasp bites into a pear. The rest of it rots very quickly, can't be avoided. As regular viewers will know, we stopped spraying our trees 6-7 years ago when we stopped doing the farmers markets. We stopped doing the farmers markets because we were losing money on them. It was taking all of our Sundays, so we couldn't have that. But anyway, so pears unsprayed, they've got a lot of spots on them. We couldn't sell these, but that doesn't matter. These are all going into perry. There is no such thing as pear cider. There is a fermented alcoholic drink called perry, which traditionally is spelled with a capital P, and that is a lovely drink. It's a little bit more alcoholic than cider. You have to be careful not to drink too much quality perry because it contains sorbitol, which is a non-absorbable, non-digestible sugar, and it acts as a laxative. I've had to run to the toilet on more than one occasion after drinking 2 pints of perry. By the way, I can't recommend that ordinary people drink 2 pints of perry. Half a pint's more like it. This is a good old Concord, quite a popular variety. This is a variety called no, that's right. I was Conference. I meant to say Conference. I said Concord. This is Concord, which is a cross between slightly oddly shaped once you do irregular pollination. It's a fine pear. This is a cross between Comis, very high quality pear, but not so easy to grow, and Conference, which is not such a tasty pear, though it's pretty good. This one again, wasp bites it, fungus gets in, and that's what happens. That's the way it goes. You don't mind losing a certain number. There's another one next to it. Again, as a maggot's bitten that. You can reduce a lot of these problems by spraying. It's quite a heavy degree of loss there. you can, and I've put some videos up about this, you can control wasps quite effectively with jam traps, and you can make a very good one, a very easy, quick, cheap wasp trap. I've put a video up about this before, from a 2-litre polyethylene bottle. Just saw the top off, slice the top off with a knife and invert it, put jam and water in and hang it up in a tree. The wasps go in and they get trapped and drowned. I've caught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And if I had been trapping wasps, it catches hornets as well, but never bees. I've never ever caught a bee in a wasp trap. They don't go into them. There's a video I've put up elsewhere. It's quite easy to work out how to do it. But I've been too busy with other things. I've been tired, I've been getting over my heart problem. Work's been difficult. And various other stuff. Julia spends more and more time looking after her mother, who's 88 and has dementia. So her handicapped daughter Sarah. And I've had a lot on at work, and I'm going to be 66 in a few weeks, so I'm getting on. So we let things go, we let things slide a little bit. We're not going to give up the orchard, but I don't think I'll ever be going back to sort of doing 30 or 40 videos a year. I just haven't got enough to say. It's sort of, oh hello, here we are, here's the orchard, this is what's going on at this particular time. And today I'm harvesting pears, and we won't be selling any of these pears. The best ones which are fit to eat, but obviously we'll take a selection of the very finest for ourselves. This is Burr Hardy, lovely French pear, really nice. I love France. It's a really nice pear. We'll take the best of them and we'll give away as good quality ones at my place of work. Julia may sell a few at the odd church fair, and the rest will go into Perry. I'm just going to, while the battery's lasting a bit longer than I thought, I'm just going to wander down here through, this is our main commercial orchard, or it was. Now this year we had a very strange year. This is a variety called Sunset. That's quite right, good variety. Have done reasonably this year. Kids Orange Red, one of my favourite trees, very fruitful tree. 1 apple in it, 2 apples. 1, 2 apples. 3, 4. A few on the floor. And next to it is a Laxton's Epicure. Very good early apple. The trees are practically bare. We had a late frost, very bad late frost this year. Third time it's happened. And the pears bloom before the apples. And the pears are okay. The cider apples bloom later than the main apples, and they did okay. But most of our apples that bloom mid-season, they got frost on the blossom several nights running, and that was it. Now, oddly enough, here's a kid's tree down here, which is carrying a moderately decent crop. Frost can be very unpredictable, very picky. We've got a book by Raymond Bush, famous mid-20th century, later 20th century fruit growing expert. Anything by him is worth reading. The book is called Frost and the Fruit Grower. And the whole of the book is about how commercial fruit is affected by frost. In the past, when fuel was cheap and labour was cheap and fruit sold for a lot of money, when frost was threatened, they would send men out into the orchard lighting lots of little paraffin burners. I've got an old photograph showing this being done. To just raise the temperature of the orchard a few degrees to stop all of your blossom being killed by frost. They used to do that, obviously nobody would do that now. But we've had an absolutely catastrophic crop failure this year. It's not a big problem for us. These are a couple because we don't sell the fruit anymore. Egremont russet seems to have produced a modest crop. These lumps here are caused by a capsid bug that bites it and doesn't kill the tree, but it creates these apolicles wouldn't be saleable. The only way to prevent that sort of thing is by sort of a fairly active insecticide program, which, as I've said, we don't do. We used to, because you cannot take maggoty, spotty, mucky looking fruit to market, whatever anyone says. Little mark on that apple. Yeah, so some of these will go into some cider. I may not make any cider this year, honestly, because I made so much last year. I've got 5 years supply, depending on how much I drink. But yeah, some of the cider trees are carrying quite a good crop. See, the pears, as I said, the pears blossoming late. The pears blossoming early missed the worst of the frost. The cider trees blossoming late missed the worst of the frost. The main crop, apples, got pretty much wrecked. So somebody will say to me, "Oh, isn't this a terrible waste, Stephen? What a terrible waste." I've just seen a butterfly. Butterflies are okay with it. Well, if when we gave up trying to sell apples commercially 7 years ago, if we'd sold the orchard, it would have been bought by a rich property developer who would have bulldozed all the trees and burned them, piled them up and burned them with diesel. Wouldn't even have turned the wood into charcoal or anything. Bulldozer, bonfire. And he would have found a way of bribing an official to get planning permission to put an expensive house here. And he'd have his horses here. However, the trees would be gone, they'd be gone forever. So even if only 5% of these trees get eaten by humans, well, the rest will be eaten by birds and other animals, and the orchard is still here. It's here for us to enjoy. Here's another kid's tree, and I don't know why, maybe the shade of these trees may have made a difference, these big poplars. Something must have made a difference, but here there's a kid's orange red here, which has got a decent crop on it. Here's some cider apples. Well, that's a pretty sight. It's Yarlington Mill, one of the most